Hi, I'm Haig Malkhasyan. I'm Director of Finance at Sola Impact. We're a real estate investment company that buys, builds, and operates affordable housing in the Southern California market. So we were looking to launch our fourth fund, and some of the lessons that we had learned previously was that, obviously at the inception of a new fund, we really need to put a lot of thought into investor relations as we begin the fundraising process. And one of the issues that we'd encountered previously was just keeping track of subscription agreements and LP agreements and so on, and just all the documentation that goes into starting a new fund. It was a very time-intensive, labor-intensive process, just keeping track of everything. It required, individual outreach and care with each investor. And when you're going out to raise, at this point, several $100 million, it's something that needs to, we were thinking, how do we make this more scalable? And, the weakest link for us was having one person handle all of this documentation. We were using DocuSign, but it was still a very manual process. So fortunately, we found Sophia and SoluSign, and we're able to automate that process to go much smoother.
Why are you saying that you were still spending a lot of time despite the fact that you were using DocuSign?
So DocuSign was great for turning a PDF that we got from our lawyer into, a fillable form, but that was about it. We wanted to be able to kind of make it a very easy kind of simple flow, no room for confusion type of process. We were really looking to step it up to more of like a white glove service for our investors. So we wanted to find a way to automate that process and just make it a quick thing for our investors to run through rather than this tedious process. Because in the past, we would send out the documents, they would send them back, we would run through it, and we would see that there was some sort of inconsistency or something was filled out in the wrong place. We would point that out to them, send it back. Sometimes it's going to a representative instead of direct to the investor. It could take a week of emailing back and forth to get the final document and filled out correctly. And we just wanted to see if we could make that process run a little smoother. And with all the automation that we were able to implement with the logic that SoluSign built out for these forms, I think at this point, it's pretty close to one and done for us. I don't think we've really had to go back and make any corrections. So it definitely expedited that process and made it a lot less painful. Actually, it made it completely painless at this point. Like I said previously, we have the form document and you have to prepare it for a specific investor, put together an email, send it out, wait to get it back, and so on. And it was just a very manual process that took, like I said, it could easily take a week. Whereas now we send out one link and it's very self-guided, and they're able to, at this point, the bottleneck is how long does it take for the investor to click the link? And after that, it's pretty close to done deal. So definitely a much quicker, smoother process. The most impressive part of all of this is, I used to work in the tech space and have worked with, consultants for other reasons that provide similar kind of tech-oriented services or software-oriented services. And part of what impressed me the most, the reason why I say that Sofian is by far the best service provider or consultant I've ever worked with, is he really understood the product that we were working on, or what we were trying to accomplish. So not only does he know DocuSign inside out, and kind of the underlying logic, the language that he speaks very fluently, he also understood the business that we're in, is already very familiar with the concept and structure and flow of a subscription document, and all associated paperwork that comes with it. Definitely not his first time seeing those agreements, and was actually able to contribute to, this is the preemptively pointed out problems that we would encounter, and he was spot on with them, and he preemptively provided solutions to those problems. So that's a very rare overlap to find kind of those two skills in the same person. And beyond that, regardless of the specific technical expertise, I was beyond impressed with how diligent he was. just everything well thought out, ready to go with screen sharing, well organized, never missed a single note. I'm used to having to go, similar to our subscription agreements with consultants in the past, I've had to go back and forth multiple times and, stay on top of it and make sure that, that they didn't miss any of the details, even though we talked about it and so on. And that was definitely, I didn't even need to think about it. I knew that if we had discussed it, it would get done. And that was a breath of fresh air.